Hi, I'm Joseph Patrick, co-founder of Lamont Brothers. And in today's video, I want to give you 4 tips to hire a great contractor and avoid hiring a contractor you're going to regret. First, take the dating phase seriously and really do some research. The main spot you want to do this is online, so check for reviews and ratings, mostly on Houzz, Google, and Yelp. And then go to the Oregon CCB website and look up their Construction Contractor Board license number, which should be on their website, on their business card, on their truck, should be everywhere where they advertise. You want to look up their number and their business name. Look at that page. It'll list any complaints that have been issued against them. It'll list any time that the CCB has pulled their license because they didn't have insurance. And then you want to click more information on this contractor. Once you get to that page, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and that'll show you any other business names that this contractor has ever operated under. That's important because we've all heard stories of a contractor who has done some work, got into trouble, and then the next year just reinvents himself with another business name. So if I see 4 or 5 business names down there, I'm a little bit concerned. At the very least, I want to ask a few more questions. Next, you want to ask really good questions as you interview your contractor. And what you want to do with these questions, and I've got a list that I've linked to at the bottom of this video. You can go to our website, you can download a whole list of questions that I recommend people ask their contractors. But you want to focus in on questions that are specific, related to your project, and difficult to just BS your way through. Because there's all kinds of contractors out there, and really what I'm trying to do in this dating interview stage is really weed out the people who are really good at talking and find the people who are really good at being a contractor. And so these types of questions have to do with, have you done projects like this before? Could I see pictures of it? Could I talk to a client that you've done a project like mine before? So if you're doing a second-story addition, I don't want to hire a really good kitchen remodel guy that doesn't normally do second-story additions. So I want to talk to a client he's worked with in the past 12 months and done a second-story addition. Questions like, what is your budgeting process? Walk me through your budgeting process. I don't want it to be a mystery where I give you my information and what I want in the plan. You go back and come back with a mystery number that we don't really know where it came from when you're looking at budgeting. So tell me, what does that budgeting process look like exactly? And that gets to our third section, which is to inspect what you expect. And this is where you're going to ask the contractor for 4 primary pieces of information. You want to look at what exactly is your budgeting system like? What do you do, and how do you put together a budget, and how much can I see? Are you just giving me a base number as we go through the budgeting process, or is there some more transparency there? What do your designs look like? This is applicable to a design build firm like Lamont Brothers, where you want to look at designs for projects they're working on right now. What do they look like? How do you communicate with me about the scope of the project that we're working on together? Sometimes the designs will look really detailed and good. Other times, I've seen clients bring me designs put together by certain people that I'm amazed that they've made it through the permitting process with the lack of detail on there, and the client almost signed a contract on a blank sheet of paper that it could include anything. Nobody really knows because there's just not enough detail on the drawings. So you're going to ask about those 2 things. Then you're going to ask about scheduling. How do we communicate about the schedule? Do you tell me it'll be done in July, and then we don't talk about schedule until we get to July, and all of a sudden it's pushed out 4 weeks? Or is there a schedule that we can communicate, either a project management software online or a schedule printout? How do we communicate about schedules? And don't take somebody's word for these things. You want to inspect what you expect. So you want to look at a schedule for another job that they're currently working on. And last, you want to look at the contract. Often what you'll do is you'll sign a preliminary agreement with a contractor or a design build firm. For a design build firm, this is a design agreement. And then after the project's designed, you'll sign a construction contract. Have a look at the construction contract before you give them money, because that's the main tool that you guys use to communicate clearly when you get to the build phase. And you want to make sure the construction contract is put together in a way that it gives you all the detail that you need in order to move forward with confidence. So finally, you want to beware of 4 big red flags when you're walking through the dating phase with a contractor. You hit any one of these 4, you should seriously consider not moving forward with that contractor. And the first is bad communication. This is the dating phase. Everybody's on their best behavior. This is as good as the communication is going to get. And so if you're waiting weeks to hear back from somebody, they don't return your calls, you feel like the proposal that they put together or the scope or whatever write-up they've done for you, you feel like they didn't listen and they've kind of missed the mark a little bit, maybe it's not a good fit. Maybe this person is too busy, or that's just their communication style. They really need to improve that. But this is probably as good as it's going to get, so you should probably back off. The next is a significant number of negative reviews. And we all know, we all shop on Amazon, we all know there's people out there that are going to give companies negative reviews. I mean, we've got 2 from people that applied for jobs to work for us. And so there's people out there that are going to give negative reviews, but what you want to avoid is seeing patterns in the reviews that are negative. So if I see 4 people on this one contractor that said they're over budget and over schedule, or their budget didn't line up with their contract amount, or I can't get a hold of them, their communication's poor. If I see trends or I see a significant number of negative reviews, I'm going to definitely think twice about hiring that contractor. The third thing you want to watch out for is anything that you uncovered in your research on the CCB website that looks negative. So a lot of different business names that the company operated under. And if somebody's been around for a long time, they might have operated under different business names, or saying that they have a certain level of experience and their CCB license has only been around for a couple years. And the last big red flag is a rate or a price that's too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. There's been several times where I've helped a client evaluate different proposals, and it's not uncommon that the lowest rate is a guy that maybe doesn't have a license or is just really bad at budgeting. We not unfrequently come into a project after they've done half the project and they totally ran out of money, and then the contractor went missing. And the reason that they got into this place is either the contractor was dishonest or didn't know how to budget a project, and so he said it was going to cost $100,000 and it should have cost $180,000. So when he runs out of $100,000, he disappears. And they're left kind of holding the ball, not really knowing what to do, sometimes having to come up with additional money to get there. And there's not a lot of good recourse. So you really want to avoid hiring a contractor like that you'll want to regret. So taking a number that's too good to be true and signing a contract on that, especially an unclear contract, is a really bad idea. So in recap, these are the things you want to do to avoid hiring a contractor you're going to regret. You want to do some research. You want to ask really good questions. You want to inspect what you expect, and you want to avoid major red flags. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click on the link below to get the checklist of questions from our website so that you can ask really great questions in your contractor interviews. Thanks.